ready.
I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm ready.
You ready?
I've been ready.
You were born ready?
I was born ready. Bing, bing, bing.
Everything at once. Everything at once. It's just awesome. It's my favorite. Let's just some Chatula Martini for a minute while we go through all this stuff. This is the Dick Moorhead Show. We're back in. Had a little bit of a technical failure. I don't think it split the.
I don't know what you're talking about. We're back on the air. It's been a long hiatus.
It has been.
We weren't allowed to talk about anything because it was under our contract.
Right, there was a split with management.
We just came in one day and
came in ready for the show.
And there was a whole new crew there, and they just said, the station is changing hands.
Yeah.
So they replaced our jobs with a whole bunch of Mexicans.
Well, it's a Spanish station.
So. But they were illegal. They were white Mexicans.
What, like George Zimmerman?
Yeah.
He was
because when a really bad crime's committed by a minority, it's really a white person's fault.
Okay. You want to? Well, I was okay. That's okay. One of the ideas I had, because
I don't even think the people know who we are. You didn't do introductions.
This is the Dick Moorhead Show.
Yeah, and Dick Moorhead couldn't make it tonight, so.
No, Dick Moorhead could not make it tonight. We are filling in for Dick Moorhead, and hopefully Dick will be here next week.
Yeah.
But until then, I'm Matty Rockdeff. This is Tommy Llama.
I'm Tommy the Llama.
Tommy the Llama. That's right. So the phone line is open, and I forgot what the phone line was. But I have this whole all right. So you spent 30 minutes trying to talk me out of a bit, and then you open up with slamming like.
No, dude, our job was replaced by illegal immigrants. Dude, so 6 months ago, I don't know if anybody knows, but we were literally the bank came and I guess they bought the place, and next thing you know, our job is taken by a whole bunch of illegal immigrants. But we are putting up a wall. Things have changed a little bit. But yeah.
Oh my God.
But we're gonna do I think the goal of the new show is not to pick up where we left off, but to be professionals. Do a well rehearsed. We won't.
Not something.
The show will be very fluid. Yeah. We'll try to stick to the topics as much as we can. No tangents will be had.
None.
We won't go off the rails.
Something tells me that you're way off kilter with that. Something tells me that we're too. And again, I was actually I keep wanting to referencing some fictitious thing that had happened before.
What fictitious thing?
But that I had this terrible nightmare that I tried to start the show at 10 o'clock.
By yourself?
By myself.
Yeah.
With nothing ready.
Really?
Yeah.
How'd that turn out?
It didn't go well.
Did you wake up with night sweats?
I woke up sweating and screaming.
Yeah.
And it was a terrible event. Really
did I tell you it was all right? We're gonna start the show.
That's right.
Okay.
You were right there for some reason in my bedroom, patting me on the back, and you're like, dude, it's gonna be all right. We're gonna do the show. It's gonna be great, and we're just gonna start a little late.
Yeah.
That's
John McCain. John McCain, right? What's up? Even on a Sunday, he makes it in the news.
Well, yeah, Sunday is traditionally the day for your news stories and things like that. So
yeah, I guess he's worried about the press not being able to handle.
Well, and that's that's don't bang things on the table.
That wasn't intentional.
I understand that. So,
yeah.
So yeah, this is again not to, how to not the worst way to put together a podcast. Do something
this isn't
live.
even a podcast. I don't even know what it is.
I don't know what it is either.
It's an hour of.
Right. It's a nightmarish scenario that I've cooked up. Okay. Yeah, we're live now. Completely unprepared. Yeah, hey, look at that. I don't. Awesome.
Are we? Cool.
I mean, I don't know how much.
But the best thing that could happen for the United States is John McCain to just get permanently captured. What do you think?
What?
I mean, wasn't he like a POW?
Yeah.
And he's no longer a POW. He's a senator. Correct.
He's a senator.
Yeah. So
you know what
he's a
state
has-been.
He's a senator of
Arizona.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
5th district.
Wow.
I don't know. I just said that.
Just making shit up.
No.
Well, we just have to.
I feel like I know some of my stuff, but I don't know all of it. I just don't know why the guy at this point, he's a globalist. I don't know why he keeps getting reelected. But
because people, I guess the people of Arizona obviously.
But the thing is, if we ever started a war with the left, or I mean,
that's
more importantly, when they start one with us, I think the first thing we can do is get out all the traitors. So we would allow John McCain to get captured permanently. You would like to see. So one of the battle cries of the Dick Moorhead show is that you would like to see
John McCain
or
captured in a war with the left. Now,
wait, isn't he? I feel like maybe he already is captured by the left, because isn't he just like he has an R next to his name, but he's really getting a D up the butt.
Have you been waiting all day to make that joke?
No, I just came up with it on the spot.
Just right now.
Yeah, just right now.
Popped right out of
that just popped out of my mouth.
Wow. No filter on that thing, is there?
No.
All right.
No, but seriously, let's be honest here.
Yeah, that's awesome.
He's a has-been.
Oh, thank God.
He needs to go.
He's a has-been.
He should just stop being a politician and retire.
Well,
let somebody young do it. He's not a globalist. He's not a rhino. Speaking of rhinos,
I'm not sure that we're necessarily being entertaining to anyone, but or they're enjoying this conversation. But I don't think people quite understand. Like, we use a lot of buzzwords, and I've noticed that we it's just like we throw words out there, and we don't quite maybe examine their definitions. You know what I mean?
Or their audience doesn't know.
Globalism is not. I mean, there's got to be a communication, with other nations and trade and things like that.
By globalism, I mean that the left wants, instead of everybody to prosper, they just want everybody to be one country under one shitty existence.
So
that's really all that could happen.
Right. I mean, that's why I agree. I have a tendency of agreeing, with that type.
Because what would happen if it was a one world free market, 100% capitalistic individual liberty society? Okay, maybe, but it wouldn't be that.
No,
it would be some social commie distortion.
Well,
immoral form of government, stealing from people's,
And that's isn't that what I mean? You could argue that already happens. That's
where we're at now. That's partly where we're at. I mean, I hope we wouldn't keep going that way.
Well, that is what it is. I do see that the current administration. You got to talk right into these mics. You can't back off.
That's why I asked for my mic.
No, I got that, but I mean, I really wanted to keep trying to. I mean, we can try that next time. Or you know what I can do? I can open up this mic. Let's open up this mic. It's. It's the 80s.
Let's just not do it.
Not do what?
The mic.
Well, I'm trying to get to other. I'd like to maybe change the graphic, and that's another thing. Like I haven't gotten all of the pictures and shit that I wanted to have.
Well, most importantly, we really need people to give us money.
We do, and I don't think anybody's gonna. But I do have a GoFundMe page up that I completely forget what the address is. I have no idea. It's like media
And
virus or something.
Give us money.
Like
treat us like you do the government.
We'll be your new government. Let me see this thing that you're manhandling.
So worship us and take money from other people and give it to us.
I think what we'd have to do is be interesting in order for people to, this is that's so fucking awesome. This thing, oh man, that makes me so happy. I was because Mr. Moorhead has been talking to the mic and pop peas. I was trying to put the pop filter up, and I'm screwing the thing in, and I broke the pop filter. So if you could, just kind of back up, because I'm cheating again. I'm doing this with what?
This is why I requested we
Listen, man, if you can sit through the event, then that's the thing. Listen, this is my thing. With live, podcasts
live
and
11
things like
o'clock.
that. Hey,
draining my mind all day.
So here's the thing. There's no other way that we could have gone live today without it being later in the evening. Now that pretty much we're set up, the only thing I'm going to be taking home is this thing here. So it's there. We can just go whenever we want, and we can, But I know that I know one thing, and that's that I got to get you interested in it, and I got to get it moving. And if I don't do that, because my goal, all right, people are like, what the fuck? Why are you doing this? Okay. Well, so I've heard that people can make money on YouTube. That's right. I've heard that. Okay. I've never actually seen this in action. I don't know for my own personal, from my own personal knowledge. I don't know anyone that's ever done that, but I do know that this exists. And I know that when I'm speaking and when I'm talking, and especially if I know that I'm on camera, I look kind of retarded. Like maybe a little bit. Like maybe I'm not so up there. But if you
nah, it's full blown retard.
That's okay. Well, don't forget that this is also getting archived. People can. It's not just a live thing. It's
we're not
right.
saying the same thing over and over again until we get it right, and then putting it on.
Right. I don't like rehearsing. I really don't. I can't. I just can't. And but I can have a conversation. I can put together things. And as this thing goes smoothly, it's my first night, dude. I haven't done a radio show, and that's what I do. I do radio. So it's we've come from having a station and having support and having those types of things,
having a contract, having real money coming in.
Well,
having absolutely nothing, or jobs were taken.
Where was I? And now I'm going in a whole different direction.
Well,
so
we had a day where we beat her,
Oh yeah, no, it's been literally, and that is, really one of the things that I wanted to talk about was I was dealing with some folks today, and I had really misinterpreted the situation, and it was I had addressed in two very informal manners, but I had addressed a young lady as sir, thinking that it was in fact a sir, and I'm just trying to be polite and put my best foot forward and be a professional.
Someone got triggered.
No, not at all. Not even a little bit. I really feel like she gets it all the time. It was I believe I was with either her parents or her mom and stepdad.
Know what it probably was? I think I saw them. And I just said out loud to everybody around me, "There's somebody that doesn't know if they're a boy or a girl."
Did you really do that?
I did that to somebody. I just had to. I just can't help it anymore. I just don't care.
I've noticed that. Like
don't
just
care.
you're swinging from that. Like it's funny the Tommy Llama that walked upstairs to watch The Walking Dead, and then the Tommy Llama that sits down behind a fucking microphone are two completely different people. I'll tell you that right now.
Don't come at me and try to tell me.
But here's the thing, and she was fine. She was cool. Everything was hunky dory. There was no real issues or anything like that. But my question was, do I need to like apologize? Do I need to listen? I apologize for my mistake, or should it have been like just keep going? Just keep going.
No, just keep going, because then it brings attention to the issue. When
yeah,
you could just,
and I'm like, I would have.
Yeah,
I would imagine that.
So see, what I would have done is I would have stopped and been like, "Wait, are you dude? Are you man? You know what? You got a penis? You have a vagina?" And then whatever
I don't
they
care.
answer, I said, "That's what you are. Don't try to get one off on me. I know who you really are."
And I remember, well, I used to be.
Okay, maybe that.
Maybe when I was a younger man, I was really known for just saying the dumbest shit, just the dumbest things. And one of the I remember we rented this house down in Wildwood, and we so one of my friends brings home this woman that he met that lived under the boardwalk, and she sold roses on the boardwalk in Wildwood. And when he brought her home, I was hammered drunk. Now I had gone down there, I had no money, and I would literally take everyone's leftovers and pour them into like a big jug and drink that. Like anybody.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait, so you're like the alcoholic at the bar who like gets all the stragglers and pours them all together and then drinks it.
That's it.
But with food.
No, with booze.
Oh, this was booze.
This is booze, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was food.
No. And I did scramble up a couple bucks, and I went down and I got myself.
Wait, you didn't drink, did you?
Back in the day, dude. Back in the day. I mean, I'm talking 23 years ago. And so he brings home this girl, and I'm just hammered on a terrible, terrible mixture of like flat Old English out of a 64-ounce like jug mixed with like Boone's Farm and Absolute. Like it was like the worst combination that you could possibly have. And so he brings home this girl, and this girl has a friend, and the friend is sitting there with a shaven head, an Irishman's cap.
Yeah.
Okay. I forget what it was, a band shirt, and it was a band I liked. I think it was Primus, if I'm not mistaken. She was wearing a Primus shirt, like corduroys. So we're talking now. Let me start. 1993.
All right, before I was born.
Is that really before you were born?
No, but I'm just gonna say it is.
Dick. 1993, and I was shook. I was like, hey, this is my friend, and I was like, oh, all right. And the friend was like, her name was like Pat or Chris.
All right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No.
And I'm like, I just looked at her. I was going, all right. So, because he was kind of chubby, And I'm like, all right, cool, man. Are you a dude or a chick? Just so I get it straight. And apparently, that was like the wrong thing to say. Like she got very upset that I didn't immediately recognize that she was a woman.
See, I don't care. I don't care what you feel inside or whatever. I don't what you do in your private life. I don't really care. But if you're confused about who you are, and I make a mistake, and I'm not sure either who you are, don't get mad if I use the wrong pronoun.
Well, I guess but that was a little bit more than using the wrong pronoun. That was like literally just, I don't know, I can't identify.
Well, they don't.
I just don't know. It's not. And I was so drunk that I thought I was being very polite. I thought I was like, I didn't want to make this mistake. I don't want to hate you if you're a dude, and I don't want to, not just very strange situation, Because like you'll like if dudes acted like women, then you get like I don't know how to behave myself. Like when I'm around guys, I make dick jokes, and
You're like Donald Trump grabbing
I
the pussy.
and well, and that's the thing is when I'm with guys, I'll say vulgar shit, and I don't really mean it. And so a lot of times I'm literally just looking to see how you look at me to see like
You're just trying to get a laugh.
I'm trying to get a laugh. I mean, I'm trying to and harshness gets laughs, and I know not to tell those jokes to women that I don't know because you don't know. And there's women that you do know you shouldn't tell those jokes to, and there's women that you know that you can, and they enjoy them and they enjoy the sense of humor, and it's one of those. It's one of those fine.
Yeah, but when you don't know what you're dealing with.
But if I don't know what I'm dealing with, I don't know how not to piss you off. You know what I mean? Or I don't know how to interact with you. That's my thing. Like, cause if you're a girl that.
So you have no decency, is what you're saying.
And that's apparently the way it is. I was very very confused by a lot of things because a lot of my friends are just like me. Just arrogant jerks. And most of the time it's a joke. We're messing around, and people take that shit seriously. And I guess maybe sometimes they do. Maybe sometimes it's meant seriously.
I keep hearing like this statistic, and it's gonna sound harsh saying it. It might be controversial, but they say 40% of they have the highest suicide rate, the transgender community, right?
Well, I mean, I would imagine so.
Yeah,
that's a very tough. Hey, listen, dude, you gotta.
Maybe that's just evolution's way of saying, you know what?
Fucking God.
This isn't the way things are supposed to be.
Really? Oh my God. Like, it's on. Okay. All right. Oh man. Okay, well, dude, no, seriously though, think about it.
No, okay.
I thought about this a couple times.
No,
If you were a woman, and that was, I mean, I'm sure it happens where biologically, chemically,
no, I'm sure
these things happen, and to
your
identify more.
Your brain's in the wrong body, but if your brain's in the wrong body, then that pretty much shits on the whole left's idea that we're all created equal, blah 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 blah.
Well, we're equal in the eyes of the law.
We have equal rights.
We have equal rights too.
But we don't have equal abilities. That's the problem. They want everybody. They want the world and people to evolve to where you can't differentiate anybody from anybody. Everybody's the same. We're all like mindless robots, like Hillary Clinton.
So you
know what I mean? Everybody
just
looks the same. Everybody has the same abilities.
I really wish somebody else would call up to argue with you. Because I don't necessarily I have a hard time identifying where to necessarily disagree with you. I just know that that's like a terrible thing to say. It just sounds.
No, I'm not.
It sounds very harsh.
I don't really mean that. I don't wish that upon anybody. I'm just trying to ruffle some people's feathers.
Right.
Make them think about some things.
Well, that's it too. You have to. I mean, people have to open up your. People have to open up their minds to, and I think a lot of it is just I think a lot of it's people don't want to deal with the initial conflict. People don't want to deal, and I think that's why groups are starting to use violence.
No, my whole thing is everybody's different. We're all different.
We're all different. That's That's.
But the left has to point that out and shove it down everybody's throat, which is why can't we just all be individuals and why can't we just all be responsible for our own actions instead of I'm going to take this from you and give it to them, and then we're going to do this for this person, and by doing that for this person, we're going to create like 10 more problems, and then we'll get back to those in a minute after we're done fixing these. You know what I mean? It's just.
Well, that is a big part of it, and I mean, hopefully, let me see. I'm going through here, but the thing is, when you literally have that type of if you are stuck in that case, that's terrible. And in any case where it's not socially acceptable to be that, like a person who and uh I just got some interesting bad news, but that's actually very terrible. But I'm gonna that's that personal thing. But what was I talking about? Oh yeah, well anytime that you
has nothing to do with what I said.
right no anytime that you are in a situation where it's not the norm or it's not the initial socially accepted.
Well, really, nothing's the norm. Who gets to
And
say
that's
what's the
really
norm,
but
what's the not?
see that's the thing
Just
is that's
don't
what that's
tell me
part
that
of
just because you
when
want
you
to be a
use
certain way that I have to be that. I have to
right. But when we
conform
use
to the way you.
there
Just
there
let me
is
live my life,
I
and you
got
can
you.
live your life.
And that's you know what that is how I like would that's how I want to live my life. But it's also one of those things where um, we have to kind of push those boundaries of what's acceptable just to give. I mean, it's not if somebody is truly like say a homosexual or they transgender, like they desperately feel that they're a woman and they want to be in that position. That is an absolutely terrible place to be mentally. That and to have the pressures of society coming down on you and mistaking who you are and how and when we get into identity, I mean, I think there's a point where I feel like you just have to get a thick skin and just
Yeah.
understand that people aren't necessarily trying to be harmful. They're more than anything they want to treat you with the same respect they give everyone else. They just don't know what pronoun to use. That's it. And if you accept that and that's fine. But you can't unless you're gonna wear a shirt that says I'm a boy or call me he, then I don't or call me she. If you and in my case, in this particular case where we this particular situation where it's a woman, a very androgynous woman with no makeup, shorts, shit like that. Not shorts, but baggy pants, sneakers. Looked like very 90s. Not the trend, the decades, not the age. She was younger. I mean, I would imagine you faced that, and maybe even you're trying to do that. Like maybe she wanted to be called sir, or she wanted that type of thing because she kept talking about her partner, but I couldn't, she kept saying a word that, and it was a.
So you don't know
It
if she
wasn't
was like a man and her partner was a man, or if she was a woman.
Right.
And
It was a nondescript. It was a nondescript name. That I mean, just from like I couldn't pick up from context clues whether it was a man or a woman because it sounded, it wasn't within the normal, not
now,
normal, but Norman
can
Anglo.
there be a man biologically that identifies as a female, thinks they are a female inside, and a woman who thinks they are a man inside, who are lovers?
I am sure that's out there. I guarantee you. I think I've actually like maybe even seen, like a documentary. I guarantee you it exists. I guarantee you. Now, I mean, I can understand. It makes sense to me why a woman would want to be a man because of all that extra equality that we have. Um, and I was actually thinking about, because we need people for, you know, studio things like checking comments and making sure that everything is the way it's supposed to be. And what I was thinking about hiring a crew of all women because we can pay them 70 cents on every dollar that we would pay a man. So it would be a good business plan.
Yeah.
Isn't that the law? Like, isn't that what we can do now? Like, because
well, the thing is, they'd only work 38 hours a week for us to work.
And we gotta give them maternity leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love that hum. That hum is so awesome.
You know what? Actually, how about we do this?
You want to break for a minute?
No. How about we?
You can press on the microphone.
We'll hire someone.
Yeah. I'm listening.
We'll hire a man and a woman, right?
Mm-hmm.
They'll both do the same job.
Right.
One will do it 10 hours a week, and one will do it 40 hours a week.
Okay.
The other one will take one of them. The one who works 10 hours a week will take 8 weeks off a year. The one who works 40 hours a week will get 4 weeks worth of vacation a year. And then we'll run for office and we'll claim that there's pay inequality within our own organization. We'll leak it to the press. And we'll use that to call them fake news.
That's genius. It's not all right. So apparently we're not very loud. So
Good,
what I'm gonna do?
That means most of the things I've said that weren't heard.
Probably.
So why don't you kick on some music and we'll take a little.
You want?
So we only got 30 minutes left.
Oh, so we start late and we finish on time.
Okay, then we only got 12 minutes left.
No, okay. Oh shit. All right. Huh? Oh man. I was a little. You know what? I'm the first to admit that I was a little too confident.
No, I gotta get hyped up for these things, right? I'm beating my head against the wall.
No, but you know what? I've
Dude,
seriously. It was a tough day today.
My eyes out.
It's like you're fighting for
and then like everything I had planned to say, like I've released from my mind.
Yeah, that was a mistake. You shouldn't have done that.
Well,
I think when you were watching that Trump,
I was sick of using it. Yeah, that's when it happened. That's when it happened, man. Because you were like, what were you saying? You were like, what? I was like, I had like.
You actually, you just swear we were watching. He was watching these clips of Trump. As a matter of fact, and it's not even Trump. It's just Trump. Trump saying "Bing," and I'm looking at him, and I'm setting up, and I'm like, I just looked at him for about a minute, and I'm like, dude, you look like a fucking 2-year-old watching cartoons. And
dude, it was really entertaining.
I noticed that, and it was really entertaining because I was paying attention to it while you were doing it, and oh dag,
Bing,
right?
Bing, 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 bing.
Don't start that, god damn it!
Bing, 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 bing. Bing, bing, bing.
All right. Well, anyway, yeah. So I'm putting on some music.
All right, do it.
I'm gonna do that.
All right.
I'm gonna put on some Cthulhu Martini. Real live dead things. Hang on, no. Now we're muted. No. Shit. Oh, that one. Hey, we're back.
We're back.
That's too much. Can you get that out? Dude, why? Why? I had it on a stand. Dude. Jesus Christ.
Bing.
Oh, Christ.
Bing.
All right. Yeah, and that's the, hey, you know what? That's what this, seriously, this show is literally to figure out how all this shit is going to work. That's all I want to do.
I think we need someone else to do it.
Well, I would love that.
By
That would
I
be
mean,
great.
like,
If you could
sound.
find somebody, that'd be awesome. Dude, I had a. No, by the way, I actually found. I was not in the.
You found a third viewer.
No, but my buddy John chimed in.
Oh, we should take a view.
We said something. I said something about maternity leave, so of course he jumped in with Family Medical Leave Act. Men can take maternity leave too. Then there's my beautiful girlfriend.
Yeah. Do we have any questions from the audience?
Fiance. Until that, one thing that had happened this week was, Day Without Immigrants, and there's a story out of, I believe it's Colorado. There's one out of Colorado. There's one out of California. No, that can't be right.
Yeah.
Where they fired off like 18 people, like a heavy duty, But one of them was a painting contractor. That when you're a contractor, you can't afford to have
someone not show up to work.
Well, not right. You can't afford to have that type of show that type of solidarity.
Well, no, you would know, because you can just go to the local Home Depot and you can hire a legal for $50 for the day.
It's $80 usually.
Oh, it's $80.
At least $10.
Well, still.
Dude,
so he found a replacement really quickly though. So this guy's protesting the fact that his family's an immigrant or whatever.
Right.
And he's the one that gets screwed by immigrants coming into the country illegally. Illegally. Let me say that. Let me say illegally, because I have nothing wrong with people coming here legally. I have something wrong with people coming here illegally.
Who are you to make the laws, man? The Indians were here first. And if you got something, I'm sure the Indians didn't like us different looking foreigners coming over here and taking their shit. But the thing is, that's how we got it. We came.
The thing is,
and we took it.
They didn't start a country though. We started a country.
They really should have.
They could have.
They should have known that Europeans were coming.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really.
I mean, it was telegraphed all over the place.
It's just. Well, they should have wiped us out when we first started. That's what they should have done. And they did a couple times. There was Jamestown was one of those. Is that Jamestown?
I don't know.
Oh man, is that a dehumidifier? Because that would rule if that was a dehumidifier.
It is.
Could you just maybe turn it off?
I can turn it up.
Turn it up, man.
Turn it up. Turn it up, man. No, my deal is, the people that get screwed over, it's not the people that benefit from illegal immigration, and immigration in general are people who own businesses, who want to hire. It's the businesses who want to hire cheap labor. So someone comes in the country, unless they're like a super skilled person that we handpick like the NFL draft does, someone who's got like a PhD or whatever, they're going to be a doctor, whatever. But someone who has no skills whatsoever, they're going to wind up mowing your fucking lawn. Or they're going to wind up cleaning the toilets somewhere. And the only people that are going to get screwed are the people who came here legally that have no job skills, that are already cleaning the toilets and mowing the lawns. Those are the people that are going to get fucked. Can I get a hallelujah?
Well, no, I agree with you. I do. And it's, it's difficult.
And all it does is drive down wages.
And it does. And again, it's, it's about, is homogenizing the right word? Is that like a thing? Like just they're trying to homogenize everything. Like everything is, maybe it's not I don't know. I'm trying to think of the word, but it's like a coagulation. Like we're all like it's a melting pot, and we're supposed to, you know, like celebrate other people's cultures. But now that we celebrate other people's cultures, that's called cultural appropriation. And white men shouldn't ride in canoes because we killed all the Indians. And I'm like really confused as to what I'm supposed to. Am I supposed to enjoy life, or am I supposed to worry about your shit? You know what I mean? Like enjoying life is going canoeing. Worrying about your shit is saying no, I can't go canoeing because um, it wasn't your natural, but it had to be. These were people who were overpopulated. You talk about Europe, dude. They were throwing. I mean, the sewers were in the middle of the streets. It was overpopulated, and they were, originally they were castaways themselves. They had nowhere to go.
They're settlers.
Well, the settlers were when you say the word settlers, I think more of sounds better, and we're still fucking. Yeah, fuck Freedom Rock. You got the joke. That's awesome. I don't even think you knew the joke that I was going for.
Well,
there used to be So there used to be this a compilation disc, and it wasn't before compilation discs. It was tapes or vinyl.
So it was jock rock.
It was kind of like, but it was Freedom Rock. So it was all these like really like fuck, 60s tunes.
Hits, Ultra Hits 1000.
Yeah. Is that free? And the tagline was like, "Hey man, is that Freedom Rock? Well, turn it up, man." And that's the joke I was going for.
Well, wasn't there a guy from The Simpsons that talked like that too?
Well, that's
I don't know.
Oh, there's a guy. I just don't know who it is. And other stuff. Stuff is how this works. You gotta talk while I'm on the computer.
No, but I mean, really, what it's supposed to do is like, we need to fix our problems first, and help the people that are already here first, before we start helping people that aren't even here yet. Maybe we need to help them
by helping ourselves.
No, we need to help them by making them change the situation where they are, not leaving the problem behind and causing more problems somewhere else. You know what I mean?
In the chat, there's a comment, the us Droover, and I'm trying to figure out what that means. The U.S. Droover. I'm D-R-U-V-E-R.
D-R-U-V-E-R.
Yeah, I don't know.
Us Droover.
Hashtag America.
Hashtag
I'm in
America.
the chat, baby. Oh, it's probably
I don't know.
Let's go to the. Yeah.
No, but my thing is too. I was having a conversation with someone today at work, and they were just basically spouting off on how they just absolutely loathe Donald Trump, and they couldn't vote for him because he was a despicable human being. Okay.
Got it.
If you believe that he's a despicable human, fine. But then, and he's got no character or whatever. That's what his statement was. And I said, well, if you can't vote for someone because they have no character, why did you vote for Hillary Clinton?
Oh yeah. All right, the bus driver.
Oh, the bus driver. Yeah, he always had the headphones on.
Right. Why did they?
But then they proceeded to go in a direction where we started talking about healthcare and how he liked Hillary Clinton because Hillary Clinton passed something that allowed someone he knew to get medication for something he couldn't get prior to it. I don't know. I think the whole thing was bullshit. But even if it wasn't bullshit, so you voted for her because she gave you an entitlement that someone you knew benefited from. Absolutely. Most people, 9 out of 10 people, are going to be happy with an entitlement that personally benefits them. Am I right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just, if someone gives you something and you didn't do anything for it, you're going to be happy.
No,
And I was
well,
like,
that's the difference. I think is me. No, I'm not.
yeah, you're
Dude, let me tell you
you're the 1 out of 10. But no, but when it's from the government, it's when it's from the government, it's cool. But then I said to the person, you don't care about all the other people that got fucked over so that person could get that benefit. You have no compassion for those people. You only have compassion. So like the I don't know. There was just the whole thing's murky. You can't accuse me of being heartless and stuff because I don't want to pay for somebody else's medical benefit.
Well,
so my thing is, and the person, my thing is, we can all agree that slavery was wrong, right? We can all agree with that. And
I don't even know if I should be in agreement with you at all right now. But go ahead.
What's that?
Nothing. Go ahead.
We can all agree that slavery was wrong, right?
Wrong. Yes, I can agree with that.
Isn't that what I said originally?
I don't know.
No, that's what I said.
I was paying attention to something else.
No,
you said the word slavery. I don't know.
No,
if I said we can all.
I said we can all agree that slavery was wrong.
Right.
And deep at the heart of the issue, there was a whole bunch of atrocities with slavery, but one of the issues was that labor was stolen. These people, the people that were enslaved, did something and didn't get the full fruit of their efforts for doing
Well, nobody
that.
gets the full fruit of their efforts. You either get fucked, or you make money off somebody else's somebody else's back. Those are your choices, and that's why.
No, but let's say you were black and you had someone in your lineage dated back to slavery, and so that means over the course of turn that shit off.
Sorry, I want to throw you off.
So that means at some point, things that your family probably could have earned were not given to them, were taken away. Their labor was stolen.
Johnny's chiming in that Clinton helped pass CHIP, the children's health insurance program, and that was
I don't care, man, because in order to fund that, how was that funded?
Hey, you know what?
How was that funded? That was funded by taking money from other people. And how did those people generate that money? From fucking labor. From fucking labor. So you were stealing labor. They were stealing labor from somebody else, stealing the fruits of somebody else's effort and giving it to somebody else. And last time I checked, that's theft. I don't care what you use it for, dude. If you steal money from someone and you save a dying individual or whatever the hell you do it for the most benevolent person. It doesn't take away from the fact that you stole that shit in the first place.
Well, it's very Robin Hood, and Robin Hood was a hero, and it was easy it was easy for him to be a hero, and I'm sure he kept. I mean, he's a legend, so I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, but Robin Hood didn't.
He stole from the rich and gave to the poor. The problem is that in Robin Hood's time in that system,
the poor were taxed more than the rich.
The poor, well, not only were the poor taxed more than the rich, but unless you were a landowner, you had nothing. You were nobody, unless you owned.
You couldn't accumulate anything.
You could not. Yeah, right. Class was not fluid. If you were born a pauper, you could not. There was no very, very small chance of you ever becoming rich. And if you were born rich, there was even a smaller chance that you were going to become poor. So, that type of hero was needed. In my opinion, that type of same scenario is the capitalist market, where if you have an idea that people want to spend money on, they will spend their money with you.
Yeah,
and if you don't have an idea, you can go work for somebody who does, and hopefully get behind them and push their idea forward. You know what I mean? Those but there aren't. I mean, not everyone understands. And if you present communism to people, and it never had been tried before, especially now, where if freedom was a bunch of assholes being freedoms, and you guys, you know what, let's like commune and just like share everything, and that's kind of, and you
I'll work an
you
hour, you
present
work
it
3, and
right, and everything will be fine, and I'll just work off the fruits of your labor, and you can work off the fruits of mine. Then, well, yeah, there's going to be
nobody would do anything.
No, right.
Unless,
but when you present it,
there was unlimited resources.
I think even if there was unlimited resources, and you go back to Star Trek references all the time with the unlimited, if you had a holodeck and a food
No, if you
generator.
could just say to the machine, make me a Vegemite sandwich, and everybody on the planet could do that by manipulating atoms, then maybe you could have a communist society, somewhat, a little bit, maybe. No, I don't know, because then you get to the point of who gets to be the captain of the spaceship, right?
All right,
Someone's got to earn the captain to be.
John, who stealing? No, okay, that's Johnny is providing a very good point. Is the Google Voice number not working? I gave it out. I should post it. I'm gonna post it. Check the chat. I know. I see. Oh, I'm looking at a very old. I'm an idiot. I don't know. Do you not feel that there is a responsibility to your fellow man, like to your fellow American? Do you not feel like you have, where it's not so much stealing as your civic responsibility that
No, I can do that. I can do that on my own. I don't need the government coming and taking from me. I can make more money with my money than the government can make with my money giving to other people.
You can. So why don't and this is something I've
like Social Security. I want to opt the hell out of that shit. I can make more money with that money they take from me than the government will ever give me back. I want to opt out of that shit. I don't want to be any part of it.
Well, you're young and cocky too, so I can understand.
And I also have a plan.
You have
and I can also control my spending. I also can save money, and I don't need. For a lot of people, they hope, oh yeah, I'll be rich one day. Yeah. If you just put like 10% away, pretend it wasn't even there, put it in the market for 30 years, you won't need the government.
It's funny.
Retire.
I've never seen. You were my only friend I've ever had that I've watched stress over the stock market. Like just stress over it. Just like if they don't, I got this buy order.
You know what you're doing when you invest in the stock market. I mean, you can call it gambling, whatever. But if you analyze a company and all that stuff, I don't have a great idea, but you know what it allows me to do? I can invest my money in somebody else's great idea.
Right. I get that. I do enjoy it. You should invest money into my great idea.
Yeah.
Which is this podcast, right?
But
I don't.
Well, what was the point that Johnny Rocket was trying to make?
The point is, I think the point Erica would like to make is to stop tapping on the table as you talk with anything, because we need like a solid piece of something.
We need real equipment. We need real operators. We need real
operators are standing by. Yeah, no. But yes, please stop.
All right, I'm done.
Are you done? So the civic responsibility, you don't feel like, okay, in your community, I can understand.
For me personally, I feel when I give money every once in a while to certain organizations, mostly right-wing organizations.
What, like
individual liberty type deals, like the Second Amendment. I'll give it to church. I'll give it to my church. I'll give it to the homeless guy. After I give him money, he'll ask for more money, and then I'll be like, "Give me the money back," because that happens every once in a while. But no, if the government didn't take so much money from me, I would probably give more money. But the fact that they take money from me, I'm just like, you know what? Fuck this shit.
Now, see, I'm going to be completely honest. If the government didn't take money from me, and they don't necessarily take that much, and I owe them. It's a whole different story. But
they do. They do because there's no way around the Medicaid, and there's no way around the Social Security.
Right. Those things do.
There's no way
they come out. They come out of my.
You can't. No matter what. You can't opt out of that shit. It's bullshit.
Right. But myself, I know, and
Dude,
I'm not gonna like if they didn't take that, what, $80 out of my check, whatever it is, that I ain't gonna set it. I'm not gonna save it. I'm not. I'm gonna spend it because I need it.
yeah.
I need it. I need it now. I needed it yesterday. Actually, you know what? They needed a month from yesterday, but I called them up. So,
But how about this? What if the government forced that money out of you? They still forced it to come out of your account, but instead of giving it to people taking it from you now and then giving it to someone who's 70 years old and retired, they put it in an account, an individual account that you can invest with it as you will. You can't withdraw it until you're a certain age, but you can invest with it as you will. And then when you get to be 65 or 65 or whatever some pompous elite liberal decides is the right age for you to be able to retire and get your money, you can have access to your money. Is that a nice compromise? The money that you paid instead of having the government do a Ponzi scheme, and then depending on population changes and immigration changes, the whole thing could just go up in flames. Or they could just tell you don't get it till you're 75 or 80 or 85 or never. Whatever they feel like.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, I have a tendency to agree, and I do agree with you on that.
Don't tell me how to live my life.
Uh,
Just to protect me
but
from
there is,
jihadists and crazy people. Otherwise, why are you even there in the first place? Because that is your only responsibility.
Okay. God, does the number? I never get it out. Fuck. It's just.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Every person in the United States that's under 30 years old should lobby to both parties to allow them to opt out. Even if they could opt out of their own, there's like the employee portion and then there's the employer portion of Social Security. Even if they could only opt out of their own portion and not the employer portion, they'd still be better off.
Damn it. Why do I have so many offensive pictures on my phone?
I don't know. I just tapped something. Well, we got to wrap this up soon, don't we?
We kind of do.
I think someone's trying to call in.
How do you know that?
I don't know, because you have your phone in your hand, your flip phone.
It's not. I have an iPhone 5S. Thank you. This is a very sophisticated phone.
You have a very important phone.
I have a very important phone. I drive a Hyundai Elantra. I'm a very important person. You don't even understand. I have an iPhone 5S. Hey, listen, man. I've had a flip phone. I've bought there was a long time I didn't have a contract with AT&T. I have AT&T, but I didn't have a contract at all. We just kept buying the disposables, those Go phones. Just stick the SIMs on them.
Have you ever had a phone get water damage or anything?
Yeah, of course.
I haven't.
Never. That's how good.
I've had a cell phone since I was maybe, I don't know. Can't remember.
You can't remember not having a cell phone?
No, I can't remember what age I got one.
No. Do you remember at what age you didn't have one? Because if you can remember it at the last age that you didn't have one, the next age will in fact be when you got one. You know what I mean?
I can't pinpoint a specific time.
No.
I know I've had one for at least 15 years.
Yeah. I mean, it's 2017.
No.
So, I'm 40.
Maybe 17 years. I probably had a cell phone for at least 17 years.
At least 17 years. And you're 32. 32.
No, actually, I don't even. Am I 32 or am I 31? I don't even know.
That happened to me.
I don't even know anymore.
When I turned 38, I thought I was turning 30. When I turned 38, I thought.
Do I turn 33 this year or 32? I don't know.
What do I know?
I don't know.
What year were you born? Do you know that?
What do you ask me for my social security number?
What's your social? I'll look you up. Just give me your social right now.
What is it?
272 what?
867-5309.
Is that your social?
That's my social.
Your name Jenny?
Yes.
I know.
Yeah, but why can't I opt out, man? I just want to opt out of it. I'll
So-
take and I don't say and the money. Let me opt out, and the money you've taken me from me so far. We'll just call it a day. We'll just call it even. Right?
All right. So and
We'll just call it even.
Social Security takes care of more than just retirement, and that's right. They do handle
Yeah, it's
disability.
it's an insurance program, absolutely. And you know what? If I want to have insurance for in case I get a disability or in case someone
So if you get a disability, if you need,
or
it's okay. Is that what you're telling me?
No. If I want to buy insurance in case of an event like that, or if say I was a minor and my parents wanted to buy insurance in case of an event like that, cool. They can do it. But what the government does and says, you know what? We're going to force you to do that. We're going to force you to have this insurance. Why can't I get that insurance? Why can't I just say fuck you to? Okay, fine. The Social Security, it helps people. It helps people that
it's not just
in
retirement.
case you have benefits. Then let me opt out of that too by buying private insurance for that.
Well, who's now? Here's the thing. Now, because then you're creating competition in the marketplace.
Oh yeah, it's such a terrible thing.
No,
right?
so that's going to drive. That would drive down prices, but that would.
You can already do that. You can get that to supplement Social Security, but why not if I want to provide a benefit in case something a disability or if you have it's a spouse dies or whatever the various reasons are for why you would benefit from Social Security other than retirement, why can't I go out and buy private insurance for that? Why does the government force me to do that? So you can opt out. You can opt out of the retirement portion of it.
Erica knows how old you are.
Okay.
You're going to be 33.
Holy
in 2017.
shit. Damn it.
Jesus Christ.
I thought maybe for a second I might have been a year younger.
Just for a minute.
Yeah, I still look good as hell, though.
Sexy.
Yeah.
You truly are. And now, me, it's funny because I keep getting better looking. It just continues to happen. And I'm amazed by it. I really am.
Also,
even when I'm shaggy
the thing is, with you, we can basically say that the reason that you feel that way inside is because as you get older, your vision also gets worse. You're
laughing and shaking the microphone. This is going to become. I can tell you, this is going to go down in the annals of history. This episode, the first episode. Well, actually,
Can we just edit the highlights?
First, yeah. No, actually,
and then take the rest off the air.
No, I want it to be there as I want.
We've already we're way over.
We are over.
We're way late.
Well, we started late.
We had no structure whatsoever. So right off the bat, we didn't skip.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Is that
you had something prepared that wasn't really prepared yet.
I did. No, and I'm not saying that. I'm not even talking about that. Our investigative report. But I was working on a plan, and then I realized the flaw in my plan, and corrected, and it's because of that I was unprepared to launch, and because I didn't have everything ready that I wanted to do, what
you wanted to do was you wanted to set up the studio. And you wanted to have a couple chalkboards, right? And then you were going to go, it was going to be live video, and you were going to go, you were going to, no, wait.
That's coming.
No, I'm not done. So you were going to go, and you were going to equate every single issue with the Bible and end times and God.
That's exactly what I was going to do.
And then I told you,
no, that's
you're not.
boring as fuck.
And then
Let's talk about politics.
I said you're not Glenn Beck. I'm not gonna let you go off the rails like that gentleman did. But
I loved Glenn Beck until I was able to see him. Well, I used to listen to his radio show all the time.
Dude, did you follow anything from the past 2 years? He's gone.
He's gone ape shit. I know.
The thing is, there's the moment that there was a point of no return for him. There's a video moment on TV that was the point of no return for him, where he had been so clouded by his ego he could not turn back. No matter even if deep down inside he knew he was wrong, he couldn't go back. He couldn't turn around. Even if he looked in the mirror and knew how fucking wrong he had been for the past year and a half, he couldn't go back because his ego wouldn't let him. So he just had to double down. Like his network's failing, everything's going down. Like nobody, the Blaze, who the hell watches that? But you know what that moment was? Dude, it was about a year ago now. It was because he was like a huge Ted Cruz supporter, and he was just bashing Trump nonstop. He was one of those never Trumpers, just bashing him. I think it was in Iowa. No, was it in Iowa? It was It was during the primaries, and I believe it was in Iowa. I'm not sure where it was. And he was at a polling place, and he was on the stump for speaking at this polling place, trying to get support for Ted Cruz. No, it wasn't Iowa because it wasn't Iowa because it was a state that Trump wanted. Wasn't a caucus. It was somewhere else. I forget where it was, but you can find this video on YouTube. And in my mind, this is the turning point where he couldn't go back because his ego wouldn't let him. So what happened was he's on the stump, he's bashing Trump or whatever, and he's advocating for Ted Cruz. And here Trump walks in the door to this polling place, and Trump knew Ted Cruz was there, or not Ted Cruz. Trump knew Glenn Beck was there, and Trump knew that Glenn Beck had just been bashing him for months and months and months and months and months, and the whole thing was planned. And when Trump walked into the polling place, everybody that was watching Glenn Beck and listening to him immediately stopped listening to him and turned around and went up to Trump and started shaking him and cheering him on. And Glenn Beck was then standing there in a big crowd, and nobody was listening to him anymore. And he was like, you could just see like everything just be sucked out of him. And you're like, this man just had everything. He just got shat on, and it was just a wonderful moment for me. You remember that?
I'm not gonna. I'm done. It's not that important. I don't remember that.
It was a beautiful moment.
Tommy, that's what we should call you, Tommy Trumpet. That's a good name. I like that. Tommy Trumpet.
Yeah.
Tommy Llama the Trumpet.
Well, after the show, I'll show you the clip, and it's quite hilarious. If anybody's listening out there, you can probably Google it It's on YouTube. Just do like Glenn Beck, Trump polling place. It'll probably pop up. But I think you were going somewhere with something, and then you got derailed. I think like a Trump walked in the door, and you realized that you sucked.
So wait.
What are you doing?
All right. So the argument is that the government has the power via the Constitution as a contract with the American people to tax you. That's part of the Constitution. So if you love,
wasn't that put in
the
there
Constitution
after?
It's an amendment to the Constitution.
Yes.
I don't know.
It's totally mind-boggling amendment. Like, how did that even go through? Because the whole thing was started off, fuck you to England. We're not paying your fucking taxes. We ain't no taxation without representation. So that's almost
the point. You're So, I get it. I get the point Johnny's making. So, okay, here it is. Ready? As if you love the Constitution, okay, and you but you're being represented. That's what equal rights are.
I understand that, but so I understand that. Whatever, cool, fine. But what happened to individual liberty? Let me. But
you can't.
Have the contract. Let people opt into the contract, and let people opt out of the contract. The people who opt out of the contract don't get any benefit whatsoever, and they don't pay in.
Well,
the people that want to.
That's literally the most heartless thing that you can do to somebody.
No, it's not,
dude. If you get
the most heartless thing you can do to somebody is make them a slave to your demands and not let them live the life they want to live. That's the most heartless thing you can do to them.
Let's just for example.
Feed a man a fish
for a second. Hang on.
Feed a man a fish. Feed him for a day. Give a man a fish. Feed him for a day. Teach a man how to fish. Feed him for a lifetime.
I tell you what. There's a if you build a man a fire, he'll be warm for a day. But if you set a man on fire, he'll be warm for the rest of his life. All right, but so no, I get the
Fine. You want your damn contract with the government. Let
God
me
damn
opt
it.
out of it.
right, and I'm also he's always been apeshit, and I did realize that after watching Glenn Beck that there was just something like I didn't like. He had wild-eyed, and I was like,
Well, you know why I got kicked off of Fox News, right? Or this is what he says. And he's like, oh, I can't believe they wouldn't. He kept talking about God, this, God that, God that. Like his whole shtick was about the Bible.
no, yeah, and I did. I enjoyed listening to him, and I did think that and you got to understand. Okay, it's post 9/11, right? Like right after, I guess I discovered the Glenn, and that's when Glenn Beck and conservative radio kind of became a thing.
I'd been around
life.
in your
I know
life.
it. No, I know it. What I'm saying is, it was right after that I had started to pay attention to these like talk shows and shit. I found them much more like interesting to me. And Glenn Beck I enjoyed Glenn Beck, I did. But then when I saw that he was just, oh my god, I was like, I don't know what to do about this. But so if you don't want to, if you opt out, if you opt out, if you decide not to participate in the contract, that means that you are not held under the same. You don't have the same rights. You're not in the contract.
Dude, it's not a right. Social Security, it's not a right. It's a fucking entitlement. It's not a right, bro.
His
it's
argument,
not a right.
Shut the fuck up and listen to the argument, because the argument is that Social Security is a tax, and we are, and it's not. It's in the body, and he's saying it's in the body of the.
It's a tax, but the problem with it.
Well, then you have to move out. Yeah, move out of the country. If you're not going to do things the right way, if you're not going to come to my country and behave the way that my country behaves, then get the fuck out. Yeah, I see it. I love that. And of course, I don't even know if I'm right. I'm just listening.
You're not right. You're
I'm
totally
fucking
wrong,
awesome,
dude.
I'm awesome.
You're totally wrong, because if his argument is dumb, because the government violates the contract every time they change the age or change the amount or change this, change that. It's a moving contract, so the whole thing is dumb.
You're missing it. You're missing the point. The point is that the Baba Ganoush and the Baba Skinks and the nipples and the
it's a Ponzi scheme, bro.
That I agree with. It is. However, it's a tax, and it's not.
It's not a tax. It's theft. It's theft. They take it and give it to somebody else. If you're paving the road that I could drive on, cool. I get no benefit from it. I don't, and they're gonna say, okay, when you retire, we're gonna give you some money. Yeah, you're gonna give me less money than I would have had if you didn't take it from me in the first place. That's not cool.
But you feel all right. So you're very confident in your money making abilities.
No, I'm not confident. I just trust. I trust. If the government got out of the fucking way, I trust the free market to make me money. Now, if for whatever reason, since we have fiat currency and a Federal Reserve, and they can manipulate they can do whatever they want and manipulate it, then all bets can really be off. But if they do it to the point where, you know what, I didn't make the money over a 30-year period, more money than I would have been given, then you know what, we're all going to be living in a shithole anyway. So it really doesn't matter. If it gets to the point where, if it gets to the point where I can't get a better return on my money by investing it into the stock market over a 30-year period than I would get from them taking the money from me and then giving it back to me when I turn 65, that means that probably we're all living in a shitty America.
No, you as an individual feel that you have that type of prowess. I do not. Where I understand the point that he's making is that it's a tax. We're not talking about Social Security as the way it
It's a
sits,
theft.
but it's a well,
It's a theft.
I
You
know
call it a tax. It's a theft.
Okay, so all right,
And not
fine.
only is it a
It's a
theft,
theft.
not only is it a theft,
It's
but
not
it
a
makes
theft,
people
it's
rely.
payment for services rendered.
What services?
Equal rights.
What
the
rights?
fact that the fact that we are right
What
now,
rights?
the
Equal
fact that we
rights.
can say whatever we want without being prosecuted by the government.
What does it have to do with Social Security?
It's a tax.
You're
paying for that. It's not.
It's to help you assist in your retirement, and then to help people that have disabilities or get injured or have the parent die or get raped by a priest, or I don't even know anymore.
You don't get Social Security you don't get Social Security for getting raped by a priest anymore.
Okay.
They stopped that. Because there was just too many claims. I haven't made any bad jokes today.
Dude, I don't care how many times you say it, how many times you do it. It's morally wrong to take from me what I have earned and to give to somebody else.
How is that?
Not only that, but that encourages. If you want to go there,
isn't charity
if you want to go there, like Glenn. All right, if you want to talk about charity, whatever. Okay.
But isn't charity part of morals? I mean, if you want to
if we're gonna bring morals into this shit, okay, we'll bring morals into this shit. Okay, let's bring morals into this shit. So charity is part of morals. So if you go there, then all of a sudden you've created a program. Any sort of entitlement creates a situation where people love the entitlements. People are gonna vote for it. They love it because they're getting shit. They're just because someone votes for a theft and you're not the person that is being thieved from. You're the recipient of the theft. Doesn't make it right. But anyway, so by creating the situation where I'm taking from you and I'm going to give it to Joe Blow over there, he's now really happy because he's getting something. And then now he's become dependent on the government. So now what is he doing? He is more in love with the government than he is with God, because now the government is providing for him. The government, now almost like he's worshiping the government. And not only that, but it creates a situation where now you have people coveting other people's possessions, because you know what? That 7.65% of yours, or 15%, or whatever the fuck it is, that's not enough. I need more of your shit. I need more of it. I'm not getting enough of your shit. Give me more of your shit. So you have a situation created by the government. I call it socialism. Communism is really like the Democrats. They had Bernie Sanders up there as a socialist. He's not a socialist. He's a fucking communist. He's a full-blown commie. Okay, that was the face of the Democratic Party, a communist. A communist was the face of the Democratic Party.
Who are we talking about?
And he would have won. A communist would have been running against
Sanders,
Donald Trump if they didn't collude against Hillary Clinton. We would have had a communist running for president.
We would have had a
communist running for president.
We would have had a communist as president. He would have beaten Donald Trump. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Let me tell you something. I've been able to pick elections since the start. And just because I want somebody to win does not necessarily mean that I know that they're going to win.
No,
I know.
No, the problem with that is, did you watch the Ted Cruz Sanders debate about healthcare?
That piece of shit that didn't matter, like the losers battling it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
But okay,
I didn't know.
What would have came out in if you watched any of the Democratic primaries? None of them were challenged on real shit, tangible, intellectual arguments. They weren't challenged on that. And the moment you get deep down into the facts on how you're going to pay for this, how you're going to do that, you realize that Bernie Sanders really just hates small businesses, and that anybody that's ever created anything, he just absolutely despises. In the meantime, while he's despising everybody that's ever created something, he creates a movement where he gets the fruits of all the benefits. He's got 3 houses.
Don't piss John off anymore right now, because I'm trying to get this fucking picture of him saying online that.
So you're trying to not, dude. If someone,
right, I will. The man has literally never agreed with me ever, and I guess because I agreed with him, he said, "Matt, you were right." I took a picture of it.
No, no, I don't care. I mean, I'm not. If someone tells me don't make someone angry that believes stealing something from somebody else is a morally justifiable point.
Here's the thing. Okay,
dude.
So, and this is an argument that I'll get into.
No,
is you don't know the difference. You don't know the difference between socialist and communist, and one is a path to the other. To me, socialism once that starts.
The only reason socialism,
only
reason socialism can exist is because it takes capitalistic ideas and incorporates it in redistribution. If there was no capitalistic ideas incorporated into that redistribution, the whole fucking thing would collapse. The only thing that allows socialism to survive is the fact that it has parts of a free market in it in the first place. That's why when you go full-blown communism, it's a fucking hellhole.
Well, right. And so, but I see, okay.
The only reason the left is allowed to exist is because conservatives exist. If conservatives didn't exist, the left wouldn't exist, because they would realize that they would get everything they want. They would redistribute the hell out of everything, and they would realize that there is no longer anything keeping anything together, because their idea is the most immoral, retarded, ridiculous, stupid thing on the face of the planet.
Jesus Christ. All right. What? Are you going to elaborate?
Unless we lived in a world with unlimited resources, where we're all 100% the same, we all have the same thought, we all have the same everything. There's nothing that differentiates anybody from anybody else. And we all have the same desire to do everything for everyone else and not do anything to benefit ourselves. Which is against, 20,000 years of evolution. I don't even know. What's the number? When did people pop up? 100,000, whatever.
I thought for some reason
I don't know.
60 million.
60 million.
Is it not?
60 million. I don't fucking know. A long time.
There's 6 in there. I watch a lot of History Channel, but I don't remember a lot of facts.
Okay.
So that's
that's the way to do it. So if someone wants to come at me, if you want to tell me I'm wrong for saying that stealing is wrong, then eat a dick.
And John's comment. You even sound like Donald Trump.
Okay.
And I don't think he quite understands.
He's probably never listened to Donald Trump. He's one of those people that hates him without ever listening to him.
I don't pretend to know what he does.
I
know that
climate change, man.
When he stumps,
I know nothing about the climate, but someone told me carbon's making it happen. So I'm gonna get a hybrid car, even though 50 million years ago we had about 20 times the amount of carbon in the atmosphere. But yeah. even though cows,
methane is the second
greenhouse
gas.
Apparently termites emit more carbon than people too.
Termites?
Something like it's something like there's 400 parts per million carbon in the atmosphere right now, and scientists estimate that there was probably like 7,000 parts per million like 50 million years ago, when there was more plants and anything. So the only thing that carbon, if the planet is warming, which it might be, considering that the sun has cycles, and that's really, when there's changing climate, it really has everything to do with the sun. My thing is that I'm not going to dispute that maybe the planet is warming. Maybe it is. But 150 year sample is really not really that much of a sample. But even if you want to say it is a big sample and that the Earth is warming, okay. But it's not warming because of carbon. It is absolutely not warming because cars are emitting carbon dioxide. Maybe it is because of cars.
Is this whole thing?
But it has nothing to do with carbon.
I'm sitting here. I'm trying to figure out how did we go from taxation and Social Security to, because people believe in stuff like it's a religion, and then you want to put it into theory. You want to think critically about it. You can't do it because they're so devoted about it. They're just so you can't. Well, I mean, you're making an assumption. No, I'm not making an assumption. Or we just lashing out at him.
No, this has nothing to do with him. This just has to do with the left in general.
This reminded you of someone.
This has reminded me of the left.
I
yeah,
understand.
that's like
okay.
yeah.
Because, I mean, he's not here to defend himself.
No, he's not. I'm just saying. This tangent has. This was a transition.
He's saying,
this is how you transition, bro. We're not only talking about Johnny Rocket over there.
Well, I like to. It's someone's participating.
I know.
And
who is this guy? This guy. He's probably a really nice guy, and I'm just using him right now.
Yeah.
To make the show a little bit less shittier than it already is.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Because if
I hope he would
honestly,
appreciate that. It's like people who ask like it's like people like Rush Limbaugh. There's like actually like people that have asked Rush Limbaugh like, are you serious? Do you do this or do you really believe the things you say? And I really think the man does, because he actually makes a lot of sense if you listen to him. He theorizes and stuff like that, whatever. But conservatism in general is pretty logic. I mean, it's pretty logical. Whatever. There's no emotion really involved in it. You just but whatever. But I could probably pretend I'm a communist and do it if I knew I would get a lot of money for it. You know what I mean? I'm like, could you do something and advocate for something that you 100% didn't believe in because you knew it was going to make you a lot of money?
No, I can't. I have a in all honesty, man, like one of the.
What if it depends what it is?
Things, no, honestly, seriously. I mean, if it's something.
What if it's something like that's harmless, but it's a total scam and stupid?
It's
like
not
Social
harmless.
Security.
It's not, Jesus. Social Security. Listen, man.
Like if you were a Social Security lobbyist,
I am not.
If someone said, you know what, Matty Rockdeath, you are going to be the Social Security czar, and your main job is to go around America and convince people that Social Security is the greatest thing since sliced bread, but you couldn't stand Social Security whatsoever, but we're going to pay you a shit ton of money to do it.
No, I can't. Me, myself, I cannot.
Not even for just a year, and then say, I just did it for a paycheck for a year because I wanted to. No,
I can't. I really can't. And that's the thing.
You can't do it?
But
can't. You want to take money from other people. You want to steal money from other people. You are disgusting. Where's your moral boundary? Where's your moral? You're okay with theft, but you're not pretending. You're not okay with faking who you are for a little bit. I think that one's a little less immoral than stealing from somebody else, breaking one of the Ten Commandments. So you're gonna enforce your moral authority on thieving, but you're not gonna enforce it on being a phony. What's the difference? All
right, there's a lot of comments going on. It's just John, but there's a lot of comments. Rush Limbaugh makes sense when he's popping pills. No, John, let me explain this to you. Rush Limbaugh makes sense when I'm popping pills. That's how that works. And that's, hey, listen, you know what? Not for nothing. And I've made this argument before, and I don't pretend to be something I'm not. I deal in a lot of pain. I take a lot of drugs.
Who is this dude?
He's a friend of mine.
No, what's his name?
His name's John.
John.
Yeah.
Has John ever in his life taken an economics class?
Yes, I know that for a fact. I went to school with him. So I know he had the same economics class that I had. And I'm sure he also went to a real college.
Okay,
I know that
but it was a high school economics class taught by probably a propagandist.
No, I'll tell you what, man. I
don't understand.
Did not feel,
like,
and that's
if
the
you
thing,
study economics in depth, how can you believe that the government does anything good whatsoever with the economy?
I don't believe the government does anything good. I think that the government is inflated. I think the government should stay out of people's businesses, but there are, and I mean personal businesses and things like that. But there are, there are things that this, as a society, we need to be responsible.
Yeah, ourselves.
No,
and our we need to be responsible for ourselves and our own.
Where does
families.
your family end, man? Where does your family end? So you just got married. Congratulations. But you just got married. Now you've walked into a stepfather position, so that your family has now grown. Now
it ends where I deem it to end.
And what? And again,
that's for me to decide and nobody else to decide.
Got you. Now let's put it this way: what if you're the sole one responsible for somebody, and you've deemed that you're no longer going to be responsible for that person? Who is?
That's
They cannot take responsibility for themselves, whether or not.
if I have put somebody into this world, then they're my responsibility until they are able to take care of themselves.
What if they're not?
Then I will take care of them. It's my responsibility.
You don't want any assistance in that.
No.
You don't need supplemental.
Just pave the
insurance.
fucking road outside. Allow me to get to where I need to go.
I'm gonna tell you this right now.
Stop any asshole from getting in the country.
I mean, I agree with on a lot of theory.
I'll pay for that.
On a lot of
and you know how I'll pay for that?
If you'll shut
and
the
I know
fuck
how I'll
up
pay
for
for
just a
that.
second.
You know how I'll pay for that? Not by you.
I gotta have you on a different. I gotta have you on a. I thought I could hang it. I thought I could have us both on the same channel. We could both run the same mics and we'd sound the same. But no, you won't shut the fuck up. I gotta be able to turn you off. I gotta figure.
So now you're trying to shut me down.
I am.
You're trying to shut me down. What are you?
I'm leftist.
You are, man.
No, but there are things. Listen, man. There is a situation. You know that there are more situations than you have ever encountered. In
you know how I would pay for the road, or help pay for it. Not by you confiscating money from my fucking paycheck. When I use that road, you can like charge me a toll or something. Charge me 25 cents a day every time I fucking go on that road. Charge me 25 cents for some number or whatever. Because I used it. Use access.
And then you're gonna pay 25 cents to use the next road too.
Or make it like $5 every time I use a road in Delaware, or for the day. Charge me $2 to let me use the roads in Delaware for a day or whatever. The main road.
You're slowly losing my confidence.
The main road. The main fucking road.
That's the point.
Well, easy pass it. Put electronic. You'll track my uses. How about that? We're in the 21st century. You'll put a tracking device on my car, and you will calculate the amount of miles I have driven, and then you will charge me for that.
I did. Now I was not. I didn't. I hope I didn't upset my friend. That I said he went to a real school, the University of New Mexico.
And I bet you he had to pay more than a legal immigrant.
I think no. I think he went to New Mexico to go to the University of New Mexico for free. I'm pretty sure. If not him.
Yeah, so he paid more than an illegal immigrant, because an illegal immigrant got paid to go there, got it for free, and then used to go there. The citizens had to pay for him to be in the United States because he just suddenly showed up and he was not part of the system. No one in his family was part of the system, and yeah, that's why there needs to be a consumption tax. Just like the highway, you can have a highway consumption tax. You can have a consumption tax for everything you use. Don't take it out of my fucking paycheck.
First of all, there is a consumption tax for everything that you use. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, living in the tri-state area, living in Philadelphia, having family in New Jersey, and being able to and working in Delaware, I would know what state to buy my cigarettes in, what state to buy my gas in.
The sales tax.
Because different sales tax. Now, in gasoline in the state of New Jersey is now literally the most expensive.
Yeah.
Where it was 20 cents at least cheaper over the bridge.
Okay.
Because that fuck knuckle Christie.
There's a selective consumption tax. We'll tax you on the stuff we don't want you to use. Stuff that you need, you don't get taxed on, like food or like groceries or whatever. If you tax everybody the same on if everything's taxed equally on the same, then the more you use, the more you pay, and then and then you won't buy shit that you don't need, you can't afford, unless you're a fucking idiot. Which there are some idiots out there, but they should be their own problem and not society's problem. Yeah. Should be locked up. Lock them up.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know where I was going with that. I just don't want you to take any money from me because it's mine. You fucking thief.
Oh, there you go. And he brings up another one of your points that you specifically, the reason that I have been going online on Facebook and literally starting fights with friends is to promote this fucking show because you refuse to use social media in any way.
Yeah.
So, because why? Why do you refuse to use social
I
media?
knew that was going to come up as soon as I said that. I knew it was going to come up because the government shouldn't track what I do. Big brother.
So yeah, so here is your inconsistency in the way.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
Present.
You set up the electronic device in my thing and track where I go. Just put a fucking toll up in the middle of the road. Pay some asshole $15 an hour to do a job that a robot could do. I'd be more happy with that than you taking the money out of my goddamn paycheck. Okay? You happy? That's what I like. You get a toll booth worker goes on strike. Your job could be replaced by a machine. Why are you going on strike?
I'm also feeling the just mentioning the comments.
Or you could just, or you could do.
You'll be feeling the bite of student loans pretty soon.
No, actually not, because I'm using it as a tax write-off. But anyway, because I know what I'm doing. I'm like Donald Trump. I don't pay taxes if I don't have
to. All right.
If I don't have to, there's certain ones you can't not pay.
Like what?
Social Security,
right?
Medicare,
the ones that you're bitching about right now.
Yeah. Well, actually, I do pay federal.
Well, you have to.
I do.
That's part of
But there are ways to minimize what you have to pay, and student loan interest is.
Well, yeah.
Part of the way.
Just the
what I use to one of the tools I use to pay less. It's not much, but when you accompany it with other things, it adds up a little bit. But anyway,
you know what you need to do.
No, but
have yourself a bunch of kids. You get all kinds of.
Yeah, and actually get paid.
Yeah, no,
I'll get paid to be a citizen.
Absolutely. Nobody with more than like 3 kids pays taxes. That makes less than $75,000. I guarantee that.
No, but the real thing with social media is, for me, it's the controlling and manipulating of your behavior. You go on there, they know what you saw, they know what you do, whatever. And then you go on another website, and the next thing you know, that thing you were looking at, buy it here, buy it here, buy it here. You were looking at that. You were looking at that. You were looking at that. I hate that.
I like that. I do.
They're using that.
Listen, if I go looking for something, I want somebody paying attention to what I'm doing and saying, "Hey, man, you saw this here. What do you think of this?"
All right. Well, let me opt out, cool. Bro. Let me opt out.
You just want? What do you want to do? Fucking move to Alaska?
I kind of do.
They don't have podcasts in Alaska.
They have them anywhere.
I got in a fight with a guy in Alaska. But one of the things, listen, I will straight up.
Okay, fine.
I will come at you.
If you don't want the government or whatever, then just charge me an access fee. If I want to buy it, some states actually have them, although they still get. There's a whole bunch of other taxes too, so they're just all around getting raped. But just let me. If you want to tax me on stuff, I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it for stuff that I use and utilize, like roads, infrastructure, whatever. I understand. Like there's certain things that you need. That has or like the military. All right, charge me whatever the budget is of the military budget, divided by how many people are here or whatever, and then that's
seriously. I think you'd be broke. I think you would. I think that if you're talking about an actual usage fee for every little aspect of the government that the government does with our taxes, you would not be able to sustain your own life. I for some reason I just because that. First of all, we're almost $19 trillion in debt.
Yeah, so
which means that we can't afford what we're spending the money on, and that's where I get kind of like, okay, well, and I've been trying. Listen, I tried to act like the government and spend my way out of debt. It's very hard to do.
Well, if the government only did roads and military, then there wouldn't be this problem. Oh yeah, and I do want to privatize the school system. There should be no government school system whatsoever. Yes. No tax dollars.
No, listen. No.
If you can't afford, if you can't afford to send your kids to school, don't have them.
So would you be a proponent of like forced castrations and stuff like that? Like forced castration. Like if you don't show promise as a young child, then let's make sure this one doesn't breed, so that the damage doesn't keep going down the line. Is that how you're going to?
No, we'll just let them all suffer, and maybe they'll learn their lesson.
So they're gonna learn their lesson. What's the lesson that's supposed to learn?
Why would we stoop to the level of the left? The left would just want to murder them. Just kill them in the womb. Just murder them. I don't want to be a murderer.
You know, I
don't want to be a murderer.
No, but that's no. There's I'm just
see.
You're really flying today.
This good.
It's good radio. It's really good radio.
No, because what you could do is okay. I don't know. There's how many people in Delaware? How many people live in Delaware? Like 1 million? I don't know. What, 1 million?
1 million?
Like 1.5 million. No, there's 1 million people. There's probably like 1.5 million people in Delaware. Okay. How many of them are drivers? I don't know. How many people have? How many registered vehicles are there in Delaware? I don't know. Let's just say 200,000, for example. I don't know. I don't know what it is. It's probably. I don't know. It's probably like more like 750,000 registered vehicles in Delaware, or something like that. How much money do you think it costs to maintain the roads? Per year.
What do I know? I would have to know in order to know how much it
100 million,
guess.
200 million, 300 million, 400 million,
I don't know.
1 billion.
I don't know the state highway structure of fucking Delaware, dude. You would have to figure out the square footage of the fucking asphalt you would need, how much iron. I don't know what that shit costs. So I would, who knows? I can tell you with a little bit of certainty, according to Google, that in the year 2014, the population of Delaware was 935,614. Now that's the population. That's people who have been born this year and people who died this year and all that fun shit. So what type of math are you doing on your fancy counting box there?
Huh? I would guesstimate in Delaware it's probably maybe if it was done efficiently by hiring private companies and letting them do bidding and all that, I would fathom it would probably be less than $500 million a year.
You could cut that cost by 25% because you just get women. You don't have to pay them.
We'll hire women to do the road work. And then let's just say that there's 750,000 registered vehicles in Delaware. And let's just say it costs $500 million to maintain the roads, whatever. Then if you had a registered vehicle, you just pay $650 up front and then be done with it.
$650 as a fee for the road
for the year. Yeah.
Before you can even register your automobile.
Yeah.
How is a struggling mother, single mother who just lost her husband, making, because she just lost her husband, she was married, so it puts her in the low one of the low incomes when you're talking about,
you don't have to pay the tax if you take a bus or walk or ride your bike. Get someone to do or carpool. You could share the tax. You get a job closer to home. You could marry someone who didn't die.
Jesus. Should have married somebody a little more longevity on that.
That was a little too far. I just had to put that in there.
You actually. Good night. Good night, John. Thanks for that. He's out. Couldn't handle you no more.
He couldn't handle it anymore because he knew I was right.
I just can't argue with the logic.
If you don't have skin, if you don't put any skin in the game, or we'll do it progressive. The shittier your vehicle, the less you pay.
That's how it should be.
If you go and you buy a brand new $50,000 car, you pay a higher percentage than somebody to register that car for the year.
And then you would have to charge the tax upon the sale, once the sale has been made.
No, once you register.
Well, you have to register a car.
Well, you have your consumption tax. You just bought a car for $50,000 whatever. You just bought a $50,000 car. You're instantly taxed at whatever rate to help pay for other shit other than infrastructure that they deem that's necessary, like maybe education.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I'm opposed to that, but I'm a realist. I'm not gonna be. I'm not gonna talk everybody out of being a 100% laissez-faire economy. It's not gonna happen. So I'm a realist. So you gotta have some other tax. And then when they go to register that $50,000 vehicle,
right,
they pay, I don't know, 10%. Then a year later, when it's worth $40,000, they pay, I don't know, they can play a flat percent on that too. It could be done better than it is now. And the problem with the way it is now is that it's been done the same way for so long that people don't want to change it. They're afraid to change it. But the thing is, if you run shit like it's a business, or like, the thing with business is that if it's a bad idea, it goes away. It no longer gets to exist. But in government, if it's a bad idea, it continues to exist because we'll just throw fucking more money at it. Well, other people's money.
That sounds like a perfect segue to say that I would like to get some government sponsorships for the show because it is a bad idea. And I would like to just people to keep throwing money at it.
Yeah, this show is terrible. So can we please have some government funding?
Right.
The show is a terrible idea. I think we should pull the plug.
Yeah, and Erica did chime in Massachusetts. There's an excise tax, and that's literally what they do.
Yeah, that is literally what they do, but it's not literally what they do because not only do they do that, they still fuck you in all the other ways too.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, so we need government funding. I want to give a shout out to Pickle Nick's Pickles. I didn't have any. I didn't have any graphics ready for today.
Who's Nick's Pickles?
Nick's Pickles is a.
Are they dill?
A friend of mine. Yes.
Are they circumcised?
No.
All right. Are they kosher?
Yeah. So
are they generic?
No, he makes them himself.
This is real. Okay.
Yeah, no, he makes.
How much is it a jar?
I'll be honest with you, I don't know.
Where does he sell them?
He's actually finding. He's starting his own business. Dude, this kid is. He figured out how to fucking make pickles, and he makes really good pickles. And
I think we should get a website going, and we should sell products on it, like Nick's Pickles. We get a percentage. He gets more of a percentage.
He gets a bigger percentage.
Yeah.
Then
I don't know. Whatever his profit margin is. Cost him like $3 a jar.
I don't know what his. I mean, I can't. I'm not even gonna
whatever his profit margin is.
Yeah. So that guy and give a shout out to Mr. Damian Rogich.
I don't know.
He
we'll have fluoride free. Like InfoWars has fluoride free toothpaste on their website that they sell.
Fluoride free toothpaste.
Yeah, because fluoride's a fucking government scam. Didn't you know that?
Yeah,
it actually causes more problems than it solves. So that's what they claim. I really have no idea. That's just what they claim.
That's what they claim.
Yeah,
that's their claim, not yours.
That's their claim. That's
not your belief system. That is.
I don't know if I believe that or not because I haven't done enough research.
Dude, all right, we're over. We ran long.
All right, dude, cut it.
I'm gonna cut this short, guys. Thanks for coming. Thanks for checking us out. Thanks for everything.
If
you've come across
anybody.
Also, Athena's. If you want to book a party for Athena's, if you're looking for some home novelties, I'm sure I'm gonna wait a second, and I'm sure I'll be.
But there's no. They don't do any gay weddings.
She'll do any type of wedding. Athena's will do any type of wedding that you choose to do. If it's you're taking up you're done, right? Okay, I'm done too. And
you're the one that's supposed to be like, all right, that's it.
No, you were railing. So I'm like, I came in with no plan, and you pretty much. I mean, I had a plan, but I didn't get to execute everything the way it went, and I really feel like you pulled it out. I just kind of like got you talking, and once we did that, and I got arguing online, and that's the way it goes. That's the Dick Moorhead show.
Too bad. And next week we'll actually have Dick on the show.
I don't speak for Dick. It's just
Well, how do we get a hold of him?
I'm not real sure how to get a hold of Dick. So I'm gonna shut this down.